me share the screen. Yeah. Hare Krishna, please raise your hand if you would like to read. Hemangi Mataji, please go ahead and start.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Saphala Ekadasi. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, "O my dear Lord Sri Krishna, what is the name of the Ekadashi that occurs during the dark fortnight of the month of Pausha, December to January? How is it observed and which deity is to be worshipped on that sacred day? Please narrate these details to me fully so that I may understand, O Janardana." The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, then replied, O best of kings, because you desire to hear, I shall fully describe to you the glories of the Pausha Krishna Ekadashi. I do not become as pleased by sacrifice or charity as I do by my devotees' observance of a full fast on Ekadashi. To the best of one's ability, therefore, one should fast on Ekadashi, the day of Lord Hari. O Yudhishthir, I urge you to hear with undivided intelligence the glories of Vasha Krishna Ekadashi, which falls on a Dwadashi. As I explained previously, one should not differentiate among the many Ekadashis. O King, to benefit humanity at large, I shall now describe to you the process of observing Vasha Krishna Ekadashi. Vasha Krishna Ekadashi is also known as Saphala Ekadashi. On the sacred day, one should worship Lord Narayana, or he is the ruling day, for he is the ruling deity. One should do so by following the previously described method of fasting. Just as among snakes, Sheshanaga is the best, and among birds, Garuda is the best. Among sacrifices, the Ashwamedha Yagya is the best. Among rivers, Mother Ganges is the best. Among gods, Lord Vishnu is the best. And among two-legged animals, two-legged beings, the Brahmins are the best. So, among all fasting days, Ekadashi is by far the best. O foremost of kings who took your birth in the Bharata dynasty, whoever strictly observes Ekadashi becomes very dear to me and indeed worshipable by me in every way. Now please listen as I describe the process to observing Saphala Ekadashi. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Sunil Prabhu, please go ahead. I'll scroll up.
Thank you so much, Mataji. On Saphala Ekadashi, my devotee should worship me by offering me fresh foods according to time, place, and circumstance, and by meditating on me as the all auspicious Supreme Personality of Godhead. He should offer me jambiya fruit, pomegranate, beaten nuts and leaves, coconut, guava, variety of nuts, cloves, mangoes, and different kinds of aromatic spices. He should also offer me incense and bright ghee lamp. For such a offering of lamps on Saphala Ekadashi is especially glorious. The devotee should try to stay awake the Ekadashi night. Now please hear with undivided attention as I tell you how much merit one gets if he fasts and remains awake throughout the entire night singing and chanting the glories of Narayan. O best of king, there is no sacrifice or pilgrimage that yields the merit that is equal to or better than the merit one gains by fasting on this Safal Ekadashi. Such fasting, particularly if one can remain awake and alert the entire night long, bestow the same merit upon the faithful devotee as the performance of austerity for 5,000 earthly years. O lion among men, please hear from me the glorious history that made this divine Ekadashi famous. Once there was a city called Champavati, which was ruled by saintly King Mahismata. He had 4 sons, the eldest of whom, Numpaka, always engaged in all manner of very sinful activities, illicit sexual encounters with the wives of others, gambling, and continual association with known prostitutes. His evil deeds gradually reduced the wealth of his father, King Mahismata.
Thank you,
Numpaka
Prabhuji.
also, thank you, Mataji, so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I will read from here. By then, please raise hand if anybody want to read. Lampaka also became very critical and numerous. Devas, the empowered universal attendance of Lord as well as towards the Brahmanas, and every day he would go out of his way to blaspheme the Vaishnavas. Yet last the king Mahishmata, seeing the unrepellent bracing fallen condition of his son, exiled him to the forest. Out of fear of the king, even compassionate relatives did not come to Lampaka's defense. So anger was the king towards his son, and so sinful was his this Lampaka. Um, uh, Bewildered in his exile, the fallen and rejected Lumpaka thought to himself, "My father sent me away, and even my kinsmen do not raise but a finger in objection. What am I to do now?" He schemed sinful and thought. I shall sneak back to the city under the cover of darkness and plunder its wealth. During the day, I shall stay in the forest, and as the night returns, so I shall to the city. So, thinking the sinful Lumpaka entered the darkest of forest, he killed many animals day by day. Day by day and by night, he stole all manners of valuable items from the city. The city dwelling folk apprehended him several times, but out of fear of the king, they left him alone. They thought to themselves that it must have been accumulated sins of Lumpakav's previous birth that had forced him to act in such a way that he lost his royal facilities and became to act so sinful like a common selfish thief. Thought a meat eater, though a meat eater, Lumpaka also eat fruits every day. Okay. Who raised hand? Um, Uma Mataji, please go ahead. I will scroll up. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
He resided under an old banyan tree that, unknown to him, happened to be very dear to Lord Vasudeva. Indeed, many worshipped as the demigod, representative departmental head of all the trees in the forest. In due course of time, while Lampaka was doing so many sinful and condemnable activities, the Saphala Ekadasi arrived. On the eve of the Ekadasi, Dasami, Lampaka had to pass the entire night without sleep because of the severe cold that he felt due to his scanty bedding. The cold not only robbed him of all peace, but almost all his very life. By the time the sun rose, near dead, his teeth chattering and near comatose. In fact, all the Ekadasi morning he remained in that stupor and could not awaken out of his near comatose condition. When midday of the Saphala Ekadasi arrived, the sinful Lampaka finally came to and managed to rise up from his place under the banyan tree. But with very step he took, he stumbled and fell to the ground. Like a lame man, he walked slowly and hesitantly, suffering greatly from the hunger and thirst in the midst of the jungle. So weak was Lampaka that he could not even concentrate to nor muster strength to go and kill even a single animal that whole day. Instead, he was reduced to collecting whatever fruits had fallen to the ground of their own accord. By the time he returned to his banyan tree home, the sun had set. Placing the fruits on the ground next to him, at the base of the sacred banyan tree, Lampaka began to cry out, "Oh, is me, what should I do? Dear father, what is to be become of me? Oh, Sri Hari, please be merciful to me and accept these fruits as an offering." Again, he was forced to lay awake the whole night without sleep. But in the meantime, the all merciful Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Madhusudana, had become pleased with Lampaka's humble offering of forest fruits, and he accepted them. Lampaka had unwittingly observed the full Ekadasi fast, and by the merit he reaped on the day, he regained his kingdom with no further obstacles. Listen, O Yudhishthira, to what happened to the son of King Maha Mahishmata when but his fragment of the merits sprouted up within his heart. As the sun beautifully rose in the sky on the day following Ekadasi, a handsome horse approached Rampaka as if seeking him out and stood next to him. At the same time, a
Mataji,
voice, oh,
Mataji, we'll
sorry,
see if anybody else want to read.
yeah,
Anybody else want to read? Okay, no one is raising, na? Okay, Mataji, continue.
yeah. At the same time, a voice suddenly uh, boomed out from the clear blue sky, saying, "This horse is for you, Lampaka. Mount it and ride swiftly out of this forest to the greet your family. O son of King Mahishmata, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva, on the strength of the merit you acquired by observing Saphala Ekadasi, your kingdom will be returned to you without any further hindrance. Such is the benefit you have gained by fasting on this most auspicious of days. Go now to your father and enjoy your rightful place in the dynasty." Upon hearing these celestial words resounding from above, Lampaka mounted the horse and rode back to the city of Champavati. By the merit he had accrued by fasting on Sapula Ekadasi, he had become a handsome prince once more and was able to absorb his mind in the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari. In other words, he had become my pure devotee. Lumpaka offered his father, King Mahishmata, his humble obeisances and once more accepted his princely responsibilities. Seeing his son so decorated with Vaishnava ornaments and tilak, Ud- Urdhava Pondra, King Mahishmata gave him the kingdom and Lampaka ruled unopposed for many years. Whenever the Ekadasi came, he worshipped the Supreme Lord Narayana with great devotion. And by the mercy of Sri Krishna, he obtained a beautiful wife and a fine son. In old age, Lampaka handed his kingdom over to his son, just as his own father, King Mahishmata, had handed it over to him. Lampaka then went to the forest to dedicate his concentrate attention to gratefully serve the Supreme Lord with controlled mind and senses. Purified of all material desires, he left his old material body and returned back home, back to Godhead, attaining a place near the lotus feet of his worshipful Lord Sri Krishna. O Yudhishthira, O Yudhishthira, one who approaches me as Lampaka did will become completely free of lamentation and anxiety. Indeed, anyone who properly observes this glorious Saphala Ekadasi, even unknowingly, like Lampaka, will become famous in this world. He will become perfectly liberated at death and return to the spiritual abode of Vaikuntha. Of this, of this there is no doubt. Moreover, one who simply hears the glories of Saphala Ekadasi obtains the same merit derived by one who performs a Rajasurya yajna, and at the very least he goes to heaven in his next birth. So where is the loss? Thus ends the narration of the glories of Pausha Krishna Ekadashi. Pausha Krishna Ekadashi or Saphala Ekadashi from the Bhavishya Uttara Purana.
Hare
Hare
Bol. Thank
Krishna.
you, Mamataji, for
Hare
completing the
Krishna.
reading. Thank you, everyone, for staying back for the reading. Happy Ekadasi in advance. Tomorrow we'll meet for Srimad Bhagavatam class again. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu bheva patidanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo nama. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. All the
Unity
assembled
Jai.
devotees ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Dinabandhu Prabhu, for joining every day and blessing all of us with your association. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you,